Hey guys, I'm JT Shaver, and if you're looking for a way to wirelessly transmit video without having to sell your kidney on the black market to afford it, this should be on your wish list. This is the Mars 400S from Hollyland, and I first came across this when I was looking for a good solution for wireless video transmission to monitor myself during talking head videos like this. Not only do most of my cameras not have a flip out screen so I can see myself while I'm filming, but I also despise having cables sitting around on the floor. And the apps for both my Sony and my Canon cameras are super laggy and clunky, and I was just getting really sick of trying to use them all the time. The Hollyland Mars 400S has one transmitter and one receiver, and it can transmit video wirelessly in 1080p at up to 60 frames per second with a maximum distance of 400 feet. That is the line of sight maximum distance, so the practical maximum distance is a little less than that, but you should be fine to use this in 99% of situations. Each unit is really well built with a nice looking and feeling metal body, and they're surprisingly lightweight. There's 1/4-inch threads on the bottom of both units, and it comes with an L bracket so you can easily mount it horizontally or vertically. There's a fan that comes on constantly when these units are running, but it's super quiet, and the only time I could really see it being an issue is if you mounted the transmitter and a microphone on top of a camera right next to each other. HDMI and SDI are both supported, and you can even mix and match, so if you have a camera with an HDMI output and a monitor with an SDI input, you can still use the Mars 400S. You'll also find a USB-C port on both units for any future firmware upgrades. Both units come with an L-series battery mount on the back, so you can use Sony NPF batteries, and it comes with an AC adapter, so you can use that on one of the units. And typically you'll be using that on the receiver because that's more likely to be stationary while you're shooting. The wall adapter also has a screw-on locking plug, so it's nice knowing that if somebody bumps it, it's not going to come unplugged. The distinguishing feature for this system is that not only can you transmit video from the transmitter to the receiver, but you can also transmit video to up to 4 mobile devices at once using the HollyView app. It's super easy to set up and connect. You just manually set it up with the Wi-Fi code on the screen of the transmitter. So that means you can have up to 5 monitors running off of just this one pair of devices. There's a few more important things that you should know about this system, but if you like this review so far, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe because I do gear reviews like this every week. The Mars 400S has 3 different modes that prioritize different things. So one is for better video quality, one is for lower latency, and the third one is a balance of both. Most people will probably opt for the lowest latency mode because, as you can see, there is some lag even in that mode. The video delay is not bad and it's not good, but I would call it acceptable for most situations. If you're trying to use this system and monitor something that you're filming live, like an action scene or something else that's fast moving, I could see it being really difficult to keep your subject in the frame. If you're working in an area with a lot of wireless congestion, you can change the channel anywhere between 1 and 8, and the cool thing is that if you change it on the transmitter, it'll automatically update on the receiver so you don't have to leave your camera and change 2 devices. I have very few bad things to say about this system. It's really easy to set up, it connects quickly, and it just basically works like you would expect it to, which sadly is not the case with a lot of things nowadays. Besides the small amount of delay, the only thing that I would change about this system is the carrying case. And that's because it doesn't come with any kind of case. You can use the box that it comes in as a case, and it's actually laid out pretty good to be used for that, but I would just like to see something more permanent for people that have to take this gear on location every day. The Mars 400S typically goes for around $649, so it's not a cheap piece of gear. You'll have to decide whether it's a luxury or a necessity for the type of work that you do. For what it is actually on the budget end of the spectrum, and there is one cheaper option, and that is the Mars 400 without the S. That one is only $539, and the only difference is that it does not have any SDI connections, so if you only need HDMI, I would suggest going with the cheaper one. If you work with a team or with clients that need to monitor what you're doing as you film, I think a wireless transmission system like this is a necessity. And I don't know any products that do as good of a job as the Mars 400S, at least at this price point. If you're normally a one-man show like I am, I don't see this system being quite as useful, but there are some situations where I think it could really help. For example, if I'm shooting something like a product or a food video in my studio, I can hook it up to this 42-inch monitor, and that will just help me see product positioning, framing, and whether or not there's a lot of dust on close-up objects and things like that. A lot of people really like using wireless transmission systems when they're using a gimbal, and I can see the Mars 400S working really well for that because it's so compact and lightweight. But again, that depends on the type of work that you're doing. If you're just by yourself and you're filming talking head videos like this, I would probably stick to the app that goes with your camera. The camera apps are slower and a lot clunkier, but it only takes about 2 minutes to get your framing right and get things set up. So it's still faster than having to get these out and set up the entire wireless system. And then when you're ready, you can just press record on your phone, and that's something you can't do with this system. You can monitor yourself, but when it's time to record, you still need to figure out a way to hit the record button. So what do you think? Do you see this system improving your workflow or just complicating things? Leave a comment and let me know what you think. I'll have links to the 400 and the 400S in the description, and they are affiliate links, but if you decide to pick either of these up, it doesn't cost you anything extra, and it really does help me create more videos like this. That's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and eat more vegetables.